I had a date with a girl. It was one of my dad's friends who says to me, I know this girl, her father just passed away, she's really rich. I want you to go out with her. So I say to the guy, no thanks. I don't like to go out with somebody who fixes me up because they always think they know the woman that you need, that's going to make your life full. I don't want to get married, but they think you need to get married. They can't understand why you're a single guy going out all the time. You're not happy? I go, I'm very happy. No, you're not happy. Go out with this girl, you'll be happy. So I said no. So then my father comes in to talk to me. He says, he really wants you to go out with her. He says, what's the difference? You go out on a date, you don't like her, don't see her again. So I tell him, no, every time I've done that, I've had a terrible time, especially when the older generation tries to set you up. Because they're motivated by, oh, she's rich. They don't know what she's really like. I call her up on the phone. Well, first, he comes back and he says to me, I'm going to pay for the date. He wants to pay for the date. So I said, I'll make you a deal. I'll go out with her. Don't pay for the date, but after that, that's it. He says, fine. So I call her up. And this is against all my rules because I say, where'd you like to go and eat? She tells me she likes a seafood restaurant. I figure I'll take her out for a seafood restaurant, bring her back home, it'll be over, I'm finished, you know? I know the guy, I wanted the girl to say, oh, he took me to a restaurant I liked and it just didn't work out. You know, make my life easier. So I pick her up. I get to the front door. She looks at me and she says, if you want to kiss me goodnight, you'll have to shave your mustache. She says, don't even worry about it. I get in the car. She says, only an idiot drives a sports car. She was skinny, small. She drove a Lincoln Town car. I don't know if you know what a Lincoln Town car is. You know? It's one of our biggest cars. So I go, I guess I'm an idiot. I was driving my Corvette at the time. I thought it was a nice car. I liked it. We get to the restaurant. I took her to a really good seafood restaurant. We sit down. I'm figuring, I can't wait for the date to get over. She's obnoxious. I didn't like her. She was okay attractive. On a scale of 1 to 10, she was a solid 3. You're supposed to be beautiful, you know, but, you know, beauty for... So I'm at the restaurant. So she says to the guy, you have steak. I go, wait a minute. Maybe I made a terrible mistake. I thought you said you want to go for seafood. She goes, yeah. I says, well, why do you want a steak? He goes, I figure because nobody orders steak, they have to have very good steaks in a seafood restaurant. I go, no. Usually if you want a good steak, you go to a really good steak restaurant. And Montreal has some of the finest restaurants in the world because we have so many different cultures, so much different kind of food. It's incredible. So I'm sitting there, she's eating the steak, and I say, how's the steak? She goes, terrible. So I take her home, and she says to me, come inside. I go, no, I'm tired. She goes, it's only 9:30. Stay out later than 10. I have to get home. So I get home. My father calls me on the phone. He goes, how come you're home early? I called just to see if you were home. I go, Dad, it was a date from hell. He goes, what do you mean? I go, I told him about the restaurant. I says, she asked for seafood, orders a steak. I didn't even know they had steaks there. I go to a seafood restaurant, I usually eat seafood, but hey, I'm stupid, what do I know? The next day, in my office, the guy comes in. How did you like her? I go, she's real nice, but she's not my type. Come on! You can make her your type. I go, she liked you so much she wants you to call her again. Oh no, I said. Oh no. He doesn't leave me alone at all. My father comes to talk to me. He tells me you won't see her again. She liked you so much. I go, Dad, did I tell you the date I had from hell? I said, she's a crazy woman. I don't want to be with her. All night she was just talking about all the doctors she goes to see because she's not sick. But eventually she'll find a doctor who thinks she is sick. She's run every doctor in the city she's been at. I tell him, there's nothing I want to talk to her about. I don't want to see her. I don't want to look at her. No, you have to go out with her again. I go, no. Yeah, you were wrong. She was just being obnoxious to see if you're everything. So I said, no. No. In my weakened state that I want to be a nice guy because the guy was my father's best friend. Okay, I'll take her out again. This time we go out. It's a worse date. How could it be worse? It's worse. She doesn't stop talking, telling about it. And then she starts telling me about a place in New York she goes to. Did you ever hear about Plato's Retreat? Have you ever heard of this place in New York? I heard about it, but I told her, I never heard about it. Plato's Retreat is a club in New York where you go in and you see live sex on stage. And sometimes the actors go into the audience and start having sex with you. It's very famous, very expensive to get in. I heard about it. So she's telling me about all these places, and I'm going, and every second word she's trying to bring sex into the conversation. And I'm playing like I'm a naive virgin. Oh yeah? No, I never heard of it. Oh no, I don't do that. I don't think I'm going to have sex till after I'm married. Me, I said those words, okay? He's laughing. I said those words. I couldn't wait for the date to get over. I get to her house. Come to the back, I want to show you the pool. Why in my mind did I ever think I'm just going to go to the back and then I can get out the side to the front and get to my car and get out of there? I get out to the back, the gates are locked. And in Canada, when you have a swimming pool, you have to have at least an 8-foot fence so kids can't climb over, go in your pool without a lifeguard. She's chasing me around the pool. Come on, I want you to kiss me. I want you to... No, I don't do that. Oh, no, I don't. I get out of the house. I go back home. And I tell my father, I says, don't ask me again. It's definitely no. He comes into my office again. Oh, she liked you so much. When are you going to see her again? I go, no, I'm not. I says, forget about it. This time, no way in hell am I going to see her. I didn't like her. Maybe she's a nice person. I didn't like her. Then she starts calling my office, driving my secretary crazy. And the things she was saying to my secretary, you wouldn't believe. Did you suck your boss's cock? I would. I tell my secretary, so next time she calls, tape the conversation. I tape the conversation. She talks to me. She says, I want to take you to Plato's Retreat. We'll go there. And we'll fuck everybody. Everybody will fuck us. And I'm going, I don't want to know this girl. She's a dangerous person. She's not leaving me alone. I get home at night. The phone's ringing. It's her. I get to the office in the morning. She's calling all day long. She called a couple of the guys working for me. She wants work done. They go to the house, they come in with an order like this. I go, who gave you the order? It tells me the name. I go, don't go there anymore. I'm not going to do any work for her. Anything to get me to come and see her. So then, my father comes in and says, she really likes you, you know. I go, Dad, she's a basket case. She's nuts. Says to me, but she's got a really rich father. Left her like $10 million in the 80s, which is, I says, I don't care. She has property all around the world. I said, I don't care. So I said, you know what I'm going to do, Dad? I'm going to show you something. I take a cassette and I say, take this cassette and on your way home from work, play it. Takes the cassette. Calls me up when I get home. David, she needs a doctor. David, she's crazy. Stay away from her. Do you hear the words she says? Do you hear what she's saying? This is why. You know, like, I've gone out with lots of women. At the same time, I was seeing another girl. I told her, I have to go out with this girl. My family and my father's best friend want me to go out with her. I told her about it. She didn't believe me. No. Come on. I said, I've got a cassette for you to listen to when my father gives it back to me. It was impossible to talk to a girl like this. You know, a lot of guys say, fuck her in. I says, no, this girl would never leave you alone. You could feel it. I went out with her on 2 dates and she kept calling every phone number. Everybody I knew was getting a call from her. I wouldn't be surprised if she was following me around after. A real basket case. And I didn't lead her on. Oh, I don't have sex till after I'm married. And my father heard me saying that on the tape, and he says, there's a lot of funny things you said to her. That's why you have to get your priorities together. I could never in a million years think what was going through her mind. How do you anticipate that? How do you anticipate what a deranged person wants to say to you? Okay. Summing it all up, you have to do your due diligence. Dating a girl is as fun as any amusement park and could be as dangerous as having a hand grenade in your hand without the pin. Could ruin the rest of your life or give you a fabulous time. You have to watch it and think. You have the ammunition. You have all the weapons you need. You have all the protection. Now, how you use it is important. How you put it together is important. Make yourself a list of questions you want to ask a person to make sure they're not crazy. To make sure when you put your penis in them, they're not full of disease. And there's certain questions you can ask her. Can you drink alcohol? You don't take any medication in case I don't want to get you sick if we go out? There's lots of things you can ask her. Have you ever had yourself checked for AIDS? Have you ever had any diseases? You're supposed to ask a woman today. You're supposed to say, how safe are you? She's supposed to say to you, how safe are you? Nobody does it. But these are questions I'm giving you to ask, put them together, and see. See how important they are. It's your life. You could have what I had and enjoy your life, end up with what you want. You don't have to stop. I stopped because it was enough. When a woman asked me or said to me, I feel like I was with a professional, I knew it's time to stop. Was I having fun anymore? It was almost doing my duty. It gets full circle, you know? Sex is a wonderful thing, but anything too much of can be bad for you. I got into this business because I didn't believe there was guys like you guys out there. I thought it's too easy. How could there be guys who can't do it? And why can't they do it? And when I met the people who are teaching you guys, I was disgusted. Not one of them has a student that has been successful. Not one of them has a graduate. Not one can say, oh, I got a whole bunch of guys who graduated. I took a guy like Jan, and now he's got what he wants. I'm happy. I'm sure he's happy. He read about all the other guys. He was in a lair. I went to that lair because of my ex-friend 3-4 times. And I said, this is what you do? I remember when I was a kid, in summer camp, we had a jerkle circle. We wanted to see if we could jerk off who could get the highest. I was 12, 11 years old then. These guys are men. And they're in a jerkle circle talking to each other going, I got her number. What, is getting her phone number more important than going out or fucking? I've lost perspective. I got her email address. Wow, big deal. I got her underwear on my bed. What would you rather have, her email address or her underwear? You should see the email she sent me. Well, you should see what she said to me last night. Oh, that's nice words that I like to hear. I'm a romantic guy too. Where and what are you looking for? Decide what you want. When I say stay focused, listen. If you want to go out with a little boy, your privilege may be against the law. Focus on it and do it. It's not what I want. If you want a woman, you focus on it. You lie in that bed, put that rag on your head. I like cold, not too cold. Fall asleep with it. Go into that scenario. You're giving yourself positive vibrations, positive enforcement. It's what you really want. It's the dream you want. It can change tomorrow. God knows I've changed what I wanted many times. And I've gone after what I wanted, and it was exciting to get it, and it was exciting to change. And it was exciting to get it, and it was exciting to change. Sometimes you goof up, but you can laugh at yourself. Oh, that doesn't work. Well, try something different. There's lots of women out there who are looking for a nice guy. And I got to tell you something. The 40% of the women who have orgasms, like to fuck. And they like to fuck as much as the guys, if not more. And the fact of the matter, that at my age, out of all the women I've slept with, I've only had 3, 4, 5 virgins tops. Virgins aren't the best. They were the worst. There's a lot of women out there fucking. If I only got 4 or 5 virgins, what's happened to the rest of them? There's no de-virginizing factory. Means guys are fucking. Maybe the guys that are fucking don't know what they're doing, which it's possible. So they need me. They need you. You're like an army of guys who are going to know what they're doing. You know how valuable you guys are? You don't see the value in it. It's an army of guys who can really handle women and take care of them properly. You're all privates. Go get some stripes. Basic training is over. Go do it. It's as simple as that. Is that a good summary?
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe next year, if I come back next year, I'll be talking more on advanced stuff. Hoping you guys will need it. I can teach you about harems. I can teach you about doing threesomes. A lot more you can learn. Once you get the basic stuff, it's all easy. Focus on what you want today. Not next year. Next year, if you need it, I'm there for you. You have to just talk to Dennis and get him to bring me in.
I want to say thank you. It's very nice for me, and so I have the feeling sometimes you read about or you heard about specialist in the past, it was called maybe Casanova. So then you can read stories about him and you don't know, but now we have met one, and I think it's a big present.
Well, I thank you, and I have to be honest with you. You guys think more about me than I think about me, because I was just living my life.
Yeah, but you can read. For me, I met a real Casanova. It's his life. It's not. Maybe for you it is nothing.
No, it's not nothing, but it's so easy, so natural. When I talk to a woman, I don't know, it's almost like I could take my brain out, it goes into automatic. Because I've been doing it forever. And it'll happen to you guys too. I really, and I'm telling you this as honest as I could be, I believe whatever I've done or I do in my life, you can all do the same. Nobody's any less than me. Nobody's any worse than me. You just haven't tried. The key is 2 simple rules. It's really the key. One day you'll be sitting around and you'll go, he was right. It's so easy. And that's what it is. It's easy. The hard stuff is going after some of these guys' programs. I could never do it. Memorize a bunch of bullshit. And it doesn't work. I don't know anybody that says, I'm a student and I'm successful. I know. I talked to Olaf for 2 years, and he thinks, like you guys, the world of me. Jan found me through Bryden. They're both students. They both graduated. Craig is a new student. He's going to be graduating. The guy's coming from Texas is bringing his friend. He's graduated. I have one guy just sent me a present. He graduated. He sent me the rest of the phone conversation so I can make more phone things with women. He says, use the rest of mine. I don't need it. I got 2 girlfriends and I'm looking at a 3rd already. He graduated in 8 weeks, 8 hours. You guys had more than that. He's 20 years old and he never heard about any of the other guys. So it's easy. Yeah, you get mixed up because you can't do everybody's tricks. You got to choose the guy you want to follow, the guy's system you want to follow, and go for it. Whatever it is. I mean, I find Dennis is fabulous. I like listening to him. I found out about him and his trainers. I would like, at least I should go back and say, one of those guys was a prick. But it can't happen because they're all such nice guys. I'm so overwhelmed and impressed with the fellows, that the way they received me and the way I talked to them last night. I met them last night, and by this morning we felt like we're old friends. Is that true? On the same wavelength. You got good guys here. They're not bullshit artists. Okay, guys. Because if I keep talking, he's not going to like me anymore.